remember when you first got into art? Do you remember? When you first got into art?
When I was a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what were you doing back then?
I was drawing in like my notebooks more than more than anything else.
Yeah.
It's like that's just what I did.
Just doing sketches like kind of now or what?
Yeah. But so yeah, like I've always done it.
Yeah.
But not trying to like build anything out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like a thing that I always did just for me.
Right.
Just like, I'm going to make some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to do this homework right now. So I'm going to, so I spent a lot of time as a kid just drawing in my workbooks and stuff and not completing the actual assignments in them. It became problematic.
Oh yeah.
Probably
some cool looking notebooks.
I had some awesome looking notebooks.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, they didn't have any answers filled in. And yeah,
maybe different answers.
Right.
Not the answers they wanted.
Answers to questions that were not in the material of the of the class.
Do you remember when you first got into art?
I mean, I definitely was really young.
Yeah.
My sister was like an artist too, so she's more of a graphic designer now.
Okay.
And she was, I just kind of wanted to do what my sister did.
She was older?
Yeah, she was older. So everyone wants to, like be their older sibling.
Yeah.
So I was probably making art at a much younger age than maybe I would have decided otherwise because of her. And then I feel like, I don't know when I decided to become a, quote, professional artist, but I do remember it had to have been middle school or early high school because I didn't look at any regular schools. I only looked at art schools. So I must have made that decision by sophomore year.
That's crazy. That's pretty early.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
And I didn't even consider anything else. My parents were cool about it, so kudos to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Your whole family's into art or creativity?
Well, so my sister is a visual artist, and then, my mom is like crafty.
Yeah.
And then my brother and my dad are programmers, so they're like whole other thing. The only other artist in the family is my mom's cousin is a medical illustrator. So she went to both art school and medical school.
Okay.
Yeah, and so she'll draw like organs and all this stuff. Yeah. So I think she's like my third cousin. She's basically my aunt though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool.
But no one else.
Do you remember when you first got into art?
Well, when I was a kid.
Yeah. You've always been doing art?
No, I did it when I was a kid. I started drawing Disney characters off the front of like movie.
Yeah, like Disney princesses and stuff.
Those big VHS things.
Oh, yeah.
So I draw princesses and all that. So it started like that. And then when I was like 6, my parents had a house with a playhouse in the backyard over by DU.
Yeah.
And we fixed it up and I got to paint the walls in there. So that was my first mural.
Oh, whoa. The whole space.
My sister and I each got a wall in this little playhouse. I painted a bunch of rainbows and clouds.
What was that like painting? Like that's like the biggest thing you painted like at that point? Like
I was 6, so
yeah. You were 6.
Yeah.
You painted the whole wall like climbed up on the ladder and stuff?
It's a playhouse, so it was small.
Okay. Yeah.
I think my dad painted the background, probably like just blue walls, and then we just went crazy with rainbows and clouds and kid stuff.
Yeah. Do you remember when you first got into art?
Are you recording this whole shit with like the green voice, red voice?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man. Oh.
Okay. Right on. First of all, man, thanks for doing this, dude.
Yeah.
Big ups for having a podcast and I'm glad we connected, man.
Yeah,
this
totally.
Is what you're doing, man.
Dude, thanks for coming on, It's cool that you're like up to just do this,
Yeah, man. So you asked me
do you remember when you first got into art?
Yeah, I mean, just like as a young kid, dude, I had like doodle books. I had like Trapper Keepers, dude. You know, by the time I was 5 years old, like
Trapper Keepers.
yeah, this is like a thing in the 80s, dude. It was a thing that kids had and brought to school. Had a little Velcro tab. It was made by the Mead Corporation.
Okay,
It was a Trapper Keeper Corporation. Yeah, you should look it up on the interwebs, man. They're fucking cool. They had all kind of like cartoon designs, you know, pop culture, kind of cool graphics. So I had like Trapper Keepers that I'd write narratives, you know, about like Chuck Norris and helicopters and all my favorite wrestlers and shit with like neon crayons and like, you know, write like a storyline to it and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, from when I was a little kid, man, it was just something I was drawn to, and you know, I've gone in and out of phases, and I'm happy to be back in a phase where it's, you know, a big focus of my attention again.
Do you remember when you first got into art?
I think it when I was like really young, you know, probably around the age of 5. Still have my old sketchbook actually.
From when you were 5?
From when I was 5, like my first ever sketchbook, and it was like a newspaper, like sketchbook or whatever.
Yeah.
And I filled that entire thing up, and I still have that sketchbook with me.
Oh.
It's back at my place right now, but I think what got me into art was because I could just draw and be free for a certain amount of time when I'm working on a piece.
Yeah.
It's just like a whole different like universe, and you can just create your own characters and express your own feelings and connect with other people through that, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely a total like escape from all this.
Yeah.
What were you like drawing in that sketchbook when you were 5?
I really don't know, honestly. It's such a long time ago. But
Yeah.
like most of the time I would just see that I would draw simple things like a car or a house, maybe like a dog or something. I think it was just a way. It was just a fun way to get my mind off of other things and just be able to draw.
That's cool.
So art was pretty much always a part of my life growing up. My mom, from the time that I could remember, had me doing like creative things. Like I made a pin cushion when I was 4. She like sat down me and my cousin, showed us how to make a pin cushion.
What's a pin cushion?
Well, this one's a little different, but
okay.
It's really just 2 pieces of fabric, like a little pillow, 2 pieces of fabric, hand stitch it, like turn it right side out, and put like stuffing inside of it, and then you can put your little pins in it. So that was like one of my first memories like growing up, and you know, like even making like Thanksgiving cookies, what we did would be like so over the top and creative, and you know, she sewed like all of my clothes, and yeah, it was kind of always there.
Yeah.
I first started back when I was in like middle school.
Yeah.
Like you said, I was taking pictures with like a cell phone, and then I would upload them, and I was using I don't know if you remember like Picnic. I was using it was like a little editing app that you can go online, edit pictures. So I was using that with graphic design, but I had stuck with the photography for a while, and I think like maybe last year I started back getting more into my graphics and trying to practice more on that.
Yeah, so you started off photography, and how long did you do that for?
For about, 2021, for about 10 years now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I've always been into art.
Since you were a kid?
Yeah. I've always just loved art. Like, art was just since school always, like, separated art as its own class. So, like, that was always my favorite.
Yeah.
Anything creative, even in class, if we were just gonna color on something, like, or cut some piece of paper or whatever, like, that was just so much fun. Like, I always loved art.
Do you remember when you first got into art?
I was into art because my brother drew, actually.
Yeah.
And the first things that I would draw was like Bart Simpson and the Ninja Turtles. I was really good at drawing Ninja Turtles. If I looked at the shit now, I'd probably be like, damn, I drew better back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then
better, or it's just like more interesting?
Just better and probably more detailed and stuff, or like, I don't know. And I would actually more so try in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's just like whatever comes out.
Starting off, I just kind of was like curious how you got into art. What was your starting point, and like what kept you interested all this time?
I mean, I always had an appreciation for art. Like when I went to festivals and events or, things like that, it was always some not only first things I noticed, but I would always seek them out too. And then in the passing of time too, you get to see a lot of different individuals who really dive really deep into the festival scene, and you can see how much they're actually about it. And then you also see like certain things made for certain events, certain displays. I thought it was really cool. Elements Festival had not only an incredible visionary artist lineup, but they also did performance art, which I thought was pretty interesting for a festival. And it's like another art form too that I feel like is often overlooked. And then you also see certain things, certain events, certain displays. I thought it was Elements Festival only not incredible visionary artist lineup, but they performance art, which I thought was pretty interesting for a festival. And it's like another art form too that I feel like is often overlooked. And then you also see like certain things made for certain events, certain displays. I thought it was really cool. Elements Festival had not only an incredible artist.
Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Andreas Talks Art. Don't forget to leave me a review. It helps me improve the show. And if you got anything out of this episode, I'd really appreciate it if you shared it with one of your friends.
Artist lineup, but they all.
Until next time.
Which I thought for a festival too that I feel like is often overlooked.